All right. So good morning and welcome to Friday Flow. And today's theme is Hungary. So I'm going to invite you to take a little journey in your mind with me to Budapest and on a little day that a creative excursion day that I was fortunate to have. So in order to do this, I'm gonna say, let's start by actually standing up and shaking off the stress a little bit. You may have been sitting already and or moving around or thinking about what else is gonna have to happen today. And let's just do a gentle stretch first by standing up as tall as you can stand. Just let your feet fall is to the ground and let your feet feel like they're sinking all the way down through the floor into the earth below where you're standing, and let your head rise up. So this is a super gentle, tiny stretch, letting your spine be as tall and elongated as it can without causing any issues anywhere. Just imagine in your mind creating a little bit of space between those vertebrae. Beautiful. And let your shoulders roll up to your elbow or up, sorry, you let your shoulders roll up to your earlobes and then gently back and down. Let's do that a couple times. Let your shoulders roll up, roll back and down. And maybe one more time, breathing in as you roll your shoulders up and let both the shoulders and the breath go. Wonderful. And then let's take our arms out to the side or in front of you if you don't have room to the side. Either way works. And let's do a gentle stretch. Let one arm lead the way, and you're going to let your rib cage go with it. So you're not twisting your body, just let your body slide a little bit to that side, just gently as far as it wants to go, and then back the other way. Let the other hand lead. So you're getting this gentle movement and go back and forth at your own pace. Gentle movement to let that spine stretch and your arms stretch a little bit from side to side. And if this hurts your shoulder, hold your arms down a little bit lower. Great. And then now let's bring your hands a little bit lower and twist. So I'm gonna hold my hand so you can see it, but go ahead and keep your arm down a little where it's comfortable. And let your hand just roll side to side and gently let that movement, and you can let it be fluid, let it be a little bit loose, and you can do that with the other hand. So you're getting a nice rolling wave kind of motion, that whole arm, if that's comfortable for you. And if it needs to be down low, that's fine. If you need to wiggle and shake it a little bit, let's do that. Let's do that next. Let's let your arms just hang loose and wiggle and shake. And then hold on to something so you don't fall, but go ahead and pick up one foot, twist, turn that foot around in some circles, and then shake it loose. I know you can't see what I'm doing there. Just let that foot roll, make some circles in the air, and then shake that leg a little bit and put it down and switch to the other leg. Make some circles in both directions with that foot. Shake that leg out a little bit. Great. And then let's come to our seats. Thank you. Okay. And when you've found your seat, go ahead and let your feet be flat on the floor, your hands relax down on your thighs in your lap or wherever it's comfortable. And take a deep breath in and let it out. Let yourself feel like you're settling into your seat. And in your mind, your mind's eye, imagine a curtain closes and then opens again. And when that curtain opens, you are now in Budapest, the capital city of Hungary. And you're on a trip that you are so looking forward to. You wake up and you fling open the curtains in your hotel, your Victorian style hotel room, and the sun is shining bright and you have an exciting day planned ahead. So you grab your backpack and you put some swim gear in for a trip to the pool later, and you put your art materials in your bag and your camera in your bag and your tour book so that you have your directions to get to the museum later, and you head out for the day. And making a stop for a warm, fresh croissant at a cafe and a latte, perhaps, or a cup of tea. And then you head over to the Villamos station and step on the train. And you hear the bustle, the hustle and bustle of people, some people going to work, some tourists going about their day and around town, some children, and the quiet but busy din sounds exciting and different and curious, and the scents and sounds and colors are so inviting. And so after a few stops, you change to another Villamos that goes up, that goes across the bridge and up the hill on the other side of the city. And as it climbs, you start to see the rolling hills beyond Budapest, and you see where the buildings drop off and the wilderness begins, and the farmland in one direction, and some lines cut into the landscape where the trains and the cars go from one part, from the busy part of the country to the quieter parts of the country. And you can also see the snaking lines of the rivers that cut both through and near Budapest. And when you get to your stop, you climb off and you see, have to look up in order to see the gorgeous castle in front of you. And it looks so sparkling white, you almost have to put your sunglasses on to look at it. And the carvings, the huge lion carvings, and the details in the stairs and the columns and the many window encasements are breathtaking. So as you walk past the castle, your eye is attracted to the wall that goes along that parallels the river. And the wall has some lower areas and some higher areas where you can climb some stairs and get an even more dramatic view. So after exploring the wall a little bit and looking at how the view changes from the various vantage points, you find a spot where you can nestle yourself on a wide railing along the wall. You kind of climb up onto the wall. It's so wide you can sit on it and spread out your art materials next to you. And you have a beautiful view of some of the old buildings along the street near the castle, and you're intrigued by this shape that the river makes through the center of the city and the tops of the buildings on the other side. And so as the sun warms your body and you just take in that scene, and maybe you take some pictures of it, maybe you do some sketches and pull out your sketchbook and maybe do some journaling and just notice what comes to mind, what comes to heart, or maybe you just sit and do nothing and just take it all in and be thankful to be here right now. And then after some length of time that feels like all day and no time at the same time, someone approaches and says hello in the Hungarian greeting. And you say hello back, and then they start to speak, and you say, sorry, no Hungarian. And then they speak to you in English and ask to see what you're making. So you show them your scribbles and sketches, or maybe share a line from a poem that you've just written. And they're so taken aback by the beauty of that moment and what you shared. And they ask to buy it from you, perhaps. And you smile and say, well, it's not really finished yet, and it's really just for me, but thank you. And the person thanks you, and they go about their way. And for the rest of the day, you carry this glow of knowing that what you have, the way that you see the world, is so valuable, not just to you, but also to others, and that shows and that shines. And so let's just sit in the sun with this view for another couple of moments in silence. And wrapping up whatever piece of this meditation you'd like to take with you in your day in a nice silk bag, tuck it in your pocket. And when you're ready, coming back into the room, slowly wiggling your fingers and toes, maybe nodding your head, yes, and looking over each shoulder and loosening up the neck, rolling the shoulders perhaps, move the way your body wants to move. And welcome to Friday Flow. I'm going to put some music on and let us start.